broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Single tier.
Yeah, there it is right there.
Oh, no. I'm a rocket man.
I'm glad we're starting this with a bang. That's a good way to do it.
Rocket man.
All right.
Okay.
Welcome to the Blacklist
Welcome.
AfterBuzz After Show. I'm Joe Braswell. This is our season finale. This is our last show.
Season 2 in the bag.
22 episodes deep.
Boy, it only feels like 30 or 40.
We started this season 2 back in 2009,
Yes, I remember.
and we ended in 2015.
When we started, the recession was still on.
I mean, this is one long season, but it's over, and we have a lot to talk about. I'm joined as always by the lovely Julia Cearley.
Hello.
Hi,
Season
Julia.
finale.
Season
Hello.
finale. I'm also joined as always by Joe SanFelippo.
Wow, that was very strong, Braz. It's nice to be here with you.
Who is not, as you
I am not.
Those of you
No.
watching on YouTube,
No.
he's not wearing the yellow blouse.
I am not wearing the yellow
I
blouse of
think
truth.
that's because someone is a really sore loser.
which is a goddamn cop out.
Gosh darn, we don't say that. We don't
late.
say the bad, dirty words.
And I'm a little upset about it, but I want to give you a chance to defend yourself in a second here, because look, by my numbers, first of all, I thought we had the bet for the season, and God bless Nando's not here, but we had this bet for the season, and it was like, by the end of the season we'll know, and the yellow blouse, and I believe I don't have the tape, but if you check the tape,
Listen,
I believe somewhere in the tape you said something like, "Hey, let's do it, huh? I'll take the bet."
Is that how I
Hey, look at me! I'll wear any blouse.
Listen. This is the yellow blouse of truth. The yellow blouse of truth must be respected. I respect the yellow blouse of truth. Here is what we said. If it is resolved, obviously, I will wear the yellow blouse of truth. It is not resolved. Caitlin K. I'm gonna shout you out right now on the Twitters. Don't claim victory yet, she says. Raymond let go. Liz shot Red. He lives. He's on the ground. Fire back. Anyway, in the bedroom, Liz's mom says Raymond let go. So we don't know. We don't know who actually gets shot. This is not all locked up. Because I would hate to wear the yellow blouse of truth. I'm not wearing it. I would hate to wear the yellow blouse of truth and then have the season halfway through next season, then they'd be like, oh, turns out he is the dad. Then what do we do, Braz?
Well,
then do you have to wear it too?
Yeah, I would double down. I would wear 2 yellow blouses.
I don't think that. I think that would defeat the purpose of the yellow blouse of truth.
But okay, so listen.
I would wear a yellow blouse.
That's all
yes, that
fine.
would be
This feels. I mean, you're reaching for conspiracy straws. This is that's the real yellow blouse.
This is the real
That's
yellow
the
blouse
good
of
one.
truth. I was holding the
See that
imposter.
Yeah,
Oh, it's gorgeous.
it's gorgeous.
Oh, think of all the chest hair that could just build through
the
that.
chest
So
hair would
very
just
much.
peek through.
So very much.
I'm
be a
sorry for
stunner.
those listening on iTunes. You don't know. You can't see the yellow blouse of truth. But
But I implore you to look on YouTube because this is awesome.
all right. So as far as by my count, as far as I'm concerned, we got to the end of this thing. And as they are promised in the promos, Lizzie remembers everything.
Everything.
And she says, I remember everything. And she says, I shot my father. And Red was very distraught about it. Looked like he was going to cry. A nice piece of acting by James Spader. He's like, yes. And she's like, you weren't there to get in my way. You were there to protect me. Thank frickin' God, Lizzie. Finally that light bulb went over that dim skull of yours.
I'm sure she'll turn on him again next season.
Look, I'm going back. I'm going back on the anti-Lizzie train, and I need someone to pull me back from it.
No, you have a hard
Don't ask
time,
me.
brother.
Because I have a hard time with Lizzie Cain. I mean, again, no disrespect to Megan Boone, who's lovely, but Lizzie Cain I'm having a hard time with. But anyway, at the end, that was the thing.
Here's what I don't
she shot
get.
her dad.
I don't.
One stepdad Red killed.
Oh God.
Then she shot her other real dad. How many dads does this woman have,
If
Joe
you're
Flippo?
trying to make this character more endearing to an audience that already, if you just look on the Twitters or you look on the internet anywhere, the audience already has a very, very difficult time associating with, has a very, very difficult time empathizing with.
Right.
Everybody wants to, but can't for some weird reason. Don't make her worse.
Well,
I don't know how else to put it. I mean, I don't feel I don't know. To me, it's like let's take a character that's kind of flawed and weakly developed and weird and nobody really likes all that much. Let's make it a little worse.
wow, you're going in. On
I'm like the end of the episode. I'm sitting there watching. I'm going, why in the fuss would this be the way you would put it? Why would you do it this way?
Yeah, spoken like a man with an 8-year-old daughter.
Fuss. Maybe later on we'll all go to the potty.
What in the fuss did you do? All right, listen. So let's back up. I want to first say a couple things. I did like the episode overall. I think that they did do a great job of sort of tying up some loose ends here. It wasn't a big whiz bang, action packed, explosive finale like we had in the season opener or the series opener or the season opener or
the mid-season after the Super Bowl
opener. This was sort of like we're closing the loop on all these loose storylines and just doing a hard. Not necessarily a hard reboot, but definitely season 3 is going to look a lot different than season 2. What did you think of this episode, Jules?
This episode was fun. It was fast paced. I like that. There were some cool moments. I like that. I'm a little let down. I remember everything. No, nothing that I really want to know.
What about the fire? What about Red's
What about your mom?
burns?
We learned nothing about your mom,
your
and that's
mama?
the one thing we really want to know about right
Did you
now.
remember your mama?
Nobody. We got nothing.
All right.
Zero.
Okay.
That bothered me. I do appreciate the lack of Tom's tattoos, I guess.
Hey, I mean,
Why not? Finally. I don't
He went to the
know.
removal shop.
I'm just a little wah-wah.
Oh, no.
I know.
Come on.
I know.
It's a
All right,
rough.
I'll bring it
I was
back.
just really waiting for I remember everything, and I just feel like that fell totally flat and blah.
Well, I think they've done a good job, as we mentioned before, I think they sort of. I'm not going to get into they wrote themselves in a corner territory because I think they do a great job in the show. But I do think that in season 1 there was a lot of questions asked, a lot of things thrown out there, and then all the way into season 2 there's a lot more questions thrown out there, and then after the Super Bowl they did a good job of sort of like closing these loops with Tom and some other things. We got it to a manageable space where okay, now we know we have these 5 major questions to answer. And I feel like the I Remember Everything season finale didn't deliver on all of those.
I feel like there's just too many soups, too many spoons in the soup, too many chefs in the kitchen.
What's that analogy?
I feel like there's
Spoons in the soup.
too many ladles. I
Okay.
feel like there's too many people with their spoon in the pie. I feel like there's too many people with input.
Big soup.
Is it working? Is it working? Is it worse?
Not at
Are the
all.
analogies getting worse?
Too many spoons in the pie.
There's too many chickens in the door. There's too many.
All right, go ahead.
So I think there's too much influence. I feel like the show's kind of like there's a lack of continuity in a way. I feel like I don't feel like there's the story they set out to tell. I feel like the audience, the number of people who were into Tom being a part of the show, and the amount of money they're getting from Ford to keep Tom back in the show has changed
Leave
their
Ford out
writing.
of this. So don't give me any money.
Oh, no, Ford's giving somebody some money.
Not me. So
1950s level product placement. Like honestly,
Right.
well, check out your Ford Mustang.
Yes.
But I don't know. I feel like there's too much influence in the writers' room. I don't know. I don't feel like they have a direction that's clear. I feel like they're kind of slapping things together as they go and trying to keep everything going.
I think that's probably, in my opinion, a little. I hear what you're saying. It's a little harsh. I stop short of sort of saying what is or isn't going on in the writers' room per se. But I will say what we're seeing as a
what
result.
I'm feeling, not necessarily what's
Right,
going on.
right.
Clearly, I have no idea.
I will say this, but like I said, I probably like the episode more than both of you guys. Let's get into a little bit. First of all, we're confused from the top because the name of the episode was Mosha Rostova. Mosha. But the blacklister was Tom Conley. It's the first time. I think it's the first time
think
that we
so,
had
too.
a
I think
title
I'm pretty darn sure that's the first time.
that was different from. And I wonder if that was a little bit of a misdirect on their part. It was like
I thought my prediction was going to come true. I was waiting for that to come up and give her the
Yes.
number, and then nothing.
you were so
I was
close.
ready for it. I was ready
Man,
to jump around my house
they,
victoriously.
They zigged when they should have zagged, as
Nah.
SanFelippo says. And yeah, that's you were close.
I was so close.
And I still got
This
no
was my moment.
I got no jewels in the corset yet. I'm still
Effing
waiting.
jewels sewn into the
I'm still
corsets,
waiting for
Braz.
the Romanov
Just
fortune.
you wait.
I'm still waiting for maybe when she's on the run. In
Anastasia.
season
Why do you
3,
think she never gets shot?
in season All right. The jewels. Reflecting the bullets.
It's the jewels.
It's the jewels.
What else would it be?
All right. So I think that but the
Poor
Tom
Anastasia.
Conley. Tom Conley is actually the number 11 Blacklist. Pretty high for a guy who we never heard of.
No, I think
And
that's
he's sort
pretty
of
accurate.
new, but he's
I
sort
thought
of
that was
new
accurate.
to the cabal.
Huh?
He's sort of new
He's
to
like
the
new to the
cabal.
game. My man
Is
just
this
got the promotion.
Blacklist- Is this Blacklist constantly changing, or is it a
Well,
set
of course-
in stone?
of course it's gonna
This
evolve.
is the
It
Blacklist.
It feels pretty fluid, yeah, because it's because my man, first of all, Tom Conley didn't even have the job as AG,
Yeah.
Attorney General at all. Then he gets the job. Then he also this season A gets the job, and then B. Well, first of all, this season we meet him, right?
Yeah.
And then he gets the job. Then he gets his way into the cabal, like the director, David Strather, lets him in, and then he's running shit, and now he's number 11. So I guess that's how it works.
But I distinctly remember there being like a list. Here's my list.
Right.
Before he was ever even on our radar.
Sure.
So I guess.
Well, I mean, so maybe he bumped someone. Maybe number 12.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Number 12 got bumped. It's okay. It happens all
Listen,
the time.
appointments change. I mean, that's
Like
just a thing,
Happens on time on Lucky
Wow,
Top
it's a
40
pretty
with
high number
Ryan
for a
Seacrest.
newbie.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's the whole point of top 40.
Rihanna was number 11 for a long time.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know,
Boom.
But
Bieber's
also,
in.
I guess we haven't really been in this world that long. It feels like a really long time.
Yes.
But the actual time in that world hasn't been that long since we started.
Right.
Right.
I agree. So let's get into this
So
episode.
he's been in the works, I imagine.
Maybe.
So
I don't
when
know.
we last saw
11.
our hero, Lisbeth Cain, she was about to be. She was learned that she is possibly going to take the fall for this assassination because she was infected with the rotavirus that she used inadvertently to take out Senator Flabberty and the great senator of the great state of Flabberty.
gentleman from Flabberty Flu.
What was his name?
And so we find that she is there to take him. She took him out, and she's on the phone.
Hawkins.
Thank you.
Sorry.
the-
I would not have slept well.
The legal pad of the doom.
I only have one page.
Okay, because usually you're flipping through.
I know, just one.
All right. So Senator Hawkins, and so she's on the phone, and Red was like, "Lizzie, you've got to go." And so we pick up with her, and I thought, like, oh my god, finally Lizzie's gonna listen to Red, and then she's gonna get on the run, and Red's gonna tell her what to do. And we pick it up in this episode, and Lizzie says, "Wait a minute, Red, I'm not going anywhere.
I can clear my name.
I don't want to look guilty." Like, what?
Can I tell you?
Like, why?
This is the weirdest reaction that I've had so far.
Why, Lizzie? Why?
If she is not his daughter, and somehow he just feels responsible for her for whatever went on that night, at some point, I'd be like, you know what? Screw it. You are such a pain in the ass. You never listen to anything I say. You're
Right.
not actually my kid. I feel like I've done enough for you. You're on your own. Like, that's to me, eventually I'd be like, I'm done. I can't help this kid anymore.
Well, what I do like that it feels like that the show itself and the writers in the show actually feel that. I think that they've clearly written Lizzie as this person who's like, this is what I'm trying to wrap my head around. Like, is Lizzie is this part of her spunk and sort of like her like rogue attitude? Like, I don't follow any orders.
But it's not
I'm
rogue.
a beat to my own drum.
It's just stubborn.
Yeah, or is it
And it's
just odd?
thick-headed.
Right.
And it's stupid.
That's ultimately
makes me
it's
mad.
stupid.
So Lizzie's an expert profiler. Like, if we're gonna profile Lizzie,
really?
okay, take it easy, Flippo. If we're gonna if we're gonna profile
It's a
Lizzie,
distinguished part of the FBI, I believe
Come
he
on,
said at
she's-
some point.
she's the FBI's top profiler. Knock it off. So
Me too.
show her some respect, please.
Sorry.
Sorry, Lacey.
so-
Sorry, Lacey.
If in fact let's profile Lizzie. So like I just want to get she's this profiler and she's this person and she's taking everything at face value. Like, as a character, like what is her character written as? Is it written as the plucky, I follow my instincts and do my own thing? Like, what have we learned about Lizzie Cain at this point? Because all I know is I get that she maybe is motivated by everyone she's been lied to. She's lied to by Red. She's lied to by Tom. She's torn all these directions. She's just trying to find her own truth. She's in a motel. But like, where's Lizzie's center and core? Like, what is she following? Because she just seems like she's flip-flopping around town. And at the season finale, freaking 44 episodes into this thing,
So
God
many.
knows how many weeks and months of her dealing with Reddington being right every effing time.
And never lying to her.
Never lying to her. Maybe like, maybe kind of
omitting some
truth. She gets to the final point where he says, Lizzie, I'm trying to save you. And her response is what? I don't think so. I'll take my chances.
No, I think I can handle this.
I don't trust you.
Okay.
Why, Joe Flippo?
Because the writers did not start with a plan. That's my opinion.
I think back to the writers.
Well, what else would it be? That would just not fair. It's a universe they're creating. So if the universe that they're creating doesn't make any damn sense, it's not on somebody else. It's on them. I don't mean to be nasty. Okay. I know it's a hard job making that many episodes, that much television, dealing with all the influences, but I feel like this is just, I feel like it's mushy and it's lost. And I don't feel like there's a narrative that's overarching. And I feel like the character has changed a number of times in ways that weren't planned initially. And so I feel like the portrayals changed, which kind of makes it feel like dishonest television because she wasn't playing from the beginning what she's playing now because it wasn't there.
I like it when you say mushy, by the way. And Julia, what I'm getting at is like, I know we don't buy this whole Lizzie character. What I'm getting at is help me understand Lizzie.
I cannot do that.
Okay.
I really cannot because she has been all over the place. I'm imagining she's trying to play it from a sense of turmoil, distrust, desperation. But it just all comes across to me as unfocused and just kind of annoying in the end.
All right, so let's get through that.
What do you think?
I don't effing.
I don't know. I cannot answer this.
I'm really trying to give like the character the benefit of the doubt. Instead of me just going like Lizzie sucks or this is crap. I'm really trying to maybe Lizzie just wants to do the right thing, or maybe she just doesn't. She's just hurt, and I don't get it. Anyway, so she does that. But what I do love in that moment is when she has that I'm gonna turn myself in and I'm gonna take my chances. The shot of Red literally rolls his eyes ugh, Lizzie. And that was sort of I guess the Blacklist as the television show's way of letting the audience know we know too, guys. I'm Red. I'm on your Red's I'm on your side, audience. I'm rolling my eyes too, Lizzie. So maybe that made me feel okay, well, this is, if the show is recognizing that Lizzie's a pain in the ass in that respect, if Red is recognizing that Lizzie's a pain in the ass, then maybe this is part of how she's written as a character.
Well, maybe this is, since it was such an obvious nod to us that with that look from Red, maybe this is the last time. Maybe this is the last time that she flip-flops like this and doesn't trust him, and maybe going into season 3, she'll have the utmost trust in everything that everything that is Red.
I think
maybe this is the last.
You're wildly optimistic because
I am.
I do think it's very nice that they can cut and paste the same goddamn conversation episode after episode. I don't trust you. You should trust me. I'm telling you the truth. Right. I don't trust you.
But maybe this was the culmination of that.
Okay, so let's.
I'm getting off the phone. I'm hanging up on you.
Now she finally trusts him at the end.
Let's move on.
We'll see.
Let's move on. So that happens.
There'll be another betrayal. He'll turn out something else he said wasn't true, and then back to start.
So
it's always true.
Let's move on. So that's all fine. So but what does happen, which is fantastic, which I do like and I appreciate, is we do get that wonderful moment when Conley comes in and has that conversation with Cooper and sort of breaks it all down in that wonderful bit of exposition as to when Cooper confronts him what are you doing? And then so Conley sort of breaks it all down. Well,
here's what I'm doing.
Super evil,
James Bond,
villain. Tell you the whole plot.
Let me break this down for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And conveniently, Lizzie was there to listen, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
I never close the door when I am disclosing the intent of my evil plans.
Well,
God,
I'm always I think I'm going to leave this door open and I'm going to break down all my evil shit. And then we'll move on from there.
Quick sidebar. I do love, this is a little mildly related. In Avengers Age of Ultron, there's that moment where Ultron...
I haven't seen it.
It's not a spoiler. It's not a spoiler. Where Ultron, James Spader says, that when Tony starts asking him something, he says... This is the moment where I take the time to break out my evil plan, and he just starts not doing that. And
that was actually a really cool moment.
That was a cool moment.
Yeah.
But so they didn't do that here.
It's fun.
Tom Conley comes in. This is the moment I come and break out my evil plan, and here it is.
And here it is. Is the door open? I want to make sure the door is open.
Diagram?
Is everyone recording? So anyway, but Lizzie does hear that.
At no point did Cooper think to record Tom Conley in any of the 9 conversations.
It's fine because Lizzie was there eavesdropping.
Yes.
So Lizzie then gets on the phone. Thank God.
You were right.
And says, you were right. And then Red, I wish there was another shot of Red rolling his eyes, which would have been great, but he did not roll his eyes for I'm sure off camera he rolled his eyes for a second time. Of course I'm right. I'm Red frickin' Reddington. Like I'm pretty right. I'm pretty consistent.
I'm pretty damn right.
Anyway, all right. So that was that. So then Red springs into action. Is like, here's what you gotta do. Let's protect you. Let's do. Let me bring you in, and that's all great. So we do that. Then we cut to this whole thing in that same moment where Conley not only like discloses his evil plan, but like doubles down. Like Conley's like he's got some swag. He's got more swag than Joe Flippo like on a Friday night at a I don't know.
Bennigan's. Let's go with Bennigan's. That's about my speed, right? I'm getting apps.
Joe Flippo ordering potato skins at Bennigan's.
I want some jalapeno poppers. I'm gonna get crazy.
No, Conley's got swag.
Does Bennigan's even have? I don't know. Anyway, Connolly's got swag.
I don't think there's any Bennigan's on the West Coast anymore. Actually.
I don't think there is either.
Anyway, but yeah, Connolly's got swag. Like Connolly's like this is for twice in this episode. He hears every like, you can't get away with this. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. He's like, oh, am I? How about you're fired? Like, you know,
and everybody's going to jail.
Yeah, and how about like, so that was cool. So he then turns around and tells Cooper, "You're done. We're putting you on leave until further notice." The assistant attorney general, sister girl, who I don't know if we know her name.
I can't remember her name.
She has one.
She takes over.
Probably Tom.
Yeah, like Tom.
She's probably a Tom.
They do get lazy with the times, don't they? Yeah, give another time.
So that's cool. So what happens there is, so sister girl takes over. Cooper's out. And you know, Conley can continue with his evil plan. He goes to Lizzie tries to get out of there, but then gets in the elevator, and Conley's right there, being as evil as possible. They arrest her. Trouble ensues, and that's that. On the other side, we find out that the sister girl, deputy attorney general, is very suspicious when she's like, this ain't right.
No,
like I don't know what's going on.
You don't get rid of Cooper,
and so. You know, yeah, all this other crap, but I know Cooper. Like, Cooper is not. Something's off. So she appoints Boy Scout wrestler, to take over as
acting head of the task force.
Which I feel like I may have predicted at some point, but I think I predicted that in like I think I said Cooper's going to die and Ross is going to take over, or maybe I made that up. Doesn't matter. But good choice. Wrestler's up for the task. He's they won Boy Scout number 1. He knows that this is perfect choice, so he does that. And then, so Wrestler's like trying to, he's like, I'm in charge now. I'm going to bring Lizzie in. This is what's going to happen. But then we go back and we see sort of, we have this moment, which I like, where, this started last week, I guess, but this alliance between Cooper and Red, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Between Cooper and Red, which is like they're working together and
meeting places, hanging out.
Cooper's out.
Church.
Yeah, it feels like they're having cigars together.
Yeah.
Like this is like, hey, Cooper, this is crap, Red. Like I know, Coop. Like
meet at the old church on 5th Street.
I get that's I love that. That's a show I'd watch.
Yeah,
Cooper and Red hanging out.
Cooper and Red.
Like stick to that on NBC.
It's a shame Lizzie died. Yeah, it was a shame. Anyway, moving on.
Oh no,
that's your show.
So Cooper and Red are talking this whole thing out, and then basically figure out. This is where I'm like, how do they get to the point where Cooper figures out the doctor's
flash drive. The flash drive
that Lizzie pulled. It was the flash drive that Lizzie pulled out.
Right. Okay, that's right.
From the safe house.
From the safe house. The flash drive that had everything on it.
That's
all the medical records.
That's right. So
this is what I do when I have all the medical records from an evil plot that I'm a part of. I keep them all on a flash drive that's right inside, right there. So that in case I have to abandon all my work, the flash drive is there for the FBI to find.
Yes. Well, he was in a hurry.
Of disbelief. You're right. I'm sorry.
He was in a hurry.
You're right.
Come on.
There's a lot.
This isn't a documentary.
You're 100% right.
He's juggling
My
a lot
bad.
of balls in the air.
There's got
What's bound to drop?
Right.
I've got to poison these people, keep the retrovirus moving.
Yes.
It's very difficult.
it's tough for this guy. So I'm trying to get this chronology right. So Cooper's out. Liz, they get together. They question Liz. They decide. What's his name? Cooper and Red work together to get Lizzie out. They
give her an escape plan.
They cut the power.
Yep.
Cooper gives her the codes.
Yep.
She's on the run.
Walks her through it. Every twist, every turn.
She sees Wrestler in the hallway, and there's that moment of what's Wrestler going to do. Mm-hmm. Did any of you at any given moment think that Wrestler was going to like bring her in?
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
And the only
why? Because he loves her.
Because I think I felt that scene was so unnecessary because it was like it was the exact same scene twice. So like either she's going to get out of the office or she's going to get out of the office. Right. I think the only purpose that it served was to show that wrestler is not 100% one way or the other, which I liked. I liked that scene, that little interaction between the two of them, where he's like, I liked his line too. You're going to be hunted, and I'm going to have to hunt you.
Yeah,
which it was good. It elevated him.
Well, it also showed that Cooper is completely believes Red, and is flipped to the other side. He's not the Boy Scout anymore, and he's willing to get her out. So it served another purpose in that respect.
You're right.
Thank you.
It also potentially sets up season 3, which is seems like that fugitive sort of like Red Rustler can be the Tommy Lee Jones to Red's Harrison Ford.
I don't care.
Yeah. I like the idea of that.
I love that movie so much.
It's
I want to watch it this weekend.
I'm innocent. I don't care.
I don't care. Tommy Lee Jones.
One-armed man.
What's wrong with that guy?
Nothing.
Yeah, he's great. All right. So Lizzie's out on the run. Now, there's that moment where she has that conversation with Red about when she's with Red and Tom calls in. Because Tom, my man Tom's chilling on a boat. Like he's ready.
Such a nice boat.
He's checking in. Like he's ready.
Such a nice boat with such a nice sting.
You want to be on that boat so bad, don't you? I want to be on that boat.
A little bit.
It's a good boat.
It's a good boat. I do get seasick, but I'll make the sacrifice.
If the boats are rocking, I don't know. Right, Flippo? Is that you say on your boat?
That's what we say on my boat. And then my wife says, "Shut up!" And I say, "Never mind. It's cool. It's cool."
So Tom's ready to go on the boat and really wanting to help Lizzie. Red's like not having any of it, but Lizzie's eyeing that phone. The phone's just vibrating away, and she's like, "Well, I want to answer it." No, Tom.
What did he say? Did he ask about me?
What did he say? Is that Tom?
Does he think I'm pretty?
What did he say about me? Does he like me? Circle yes or no.
Yeah, that was great. She made one of those like thingies. Yes. So that was cool. Then explain to me now, when do we get to the point where, when does Lizzie go after, because isn't there some bit where Lizzie, after she escapes, decides that she's going to go get the information she's going to go after she goes check out the tapes.
First she has the little heart-to-heart with Cooper, which was a great scene.
Yes.
I loved that scene. Cooper killed it in that scene.
Yes.
Really did. So then they figure out that she has to go find the tapes because they figure out that it happened at Union Station.
Right.
That where she was infected was at Union Station.
Right.
So she goes.
And she does that, pretty convincing move of like...
The whole, turn your attention this way so you don't see the TV that has my face sprawled across it saying that I'm the most wanted.
But she just convinced the guy,
and Cooper calls in a favor to make a phone call. So
that was cool, and they saw it. So they find the tape. They got the right thing, and then she goes to the spot. But isn't there a moment? This is where I get lost in the episode. Is there a moment where why does she call Tom? Does she get mad at Red again? Is there a moment where she's like, I'm on my own again? Didn't she have one more rogue moment where she calls Tom?
Well,
why did she
and Red
Tom?
part ways because he has to get all the journalists together.
Yeah, to have his TED Talk.
So he has his own TED Talk.
Red's TED Talk was awesome.
So he's on his own mission. So they have to part ways. So she has nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So she goes to Tom.
Okay,
of course. He has a boat.
And Tom's ready to rock.
I'm on a boat.
And that was kind of cool to see them doing some Mr. and Mrs. Smith, crashing indoors.
Sure.
Like doing that stuff and, chasing perps down the street. That was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And they get that firefight. Got it. They get that firefight and, my man doesn't make it.
Doesn't make it. She's distraught.
And
he was the one link.
Lizzie,
the only one with answers.
And Megan Boone, with a fine piece of acting, goes up to the guy on the floor and says,
"No." I don't remember. She says something
"You're
about...
my only chance.
You're my only chance. He's the only one who knew about my mother."
Yes.
No, I'll never know.
Except for Red, who just says he won't tell me.
No.
Right.
You know who did make it to the firefight was Tom's Mustang.
Yeah.
Tom's Mustang made it to the firefight.
Well, yeah, because before the firefight happened, there was when was it? When was the chase? Was that at the end of the firefight? When did the car chase happen?
Before the firefight.
No.
The chase led to the firefight.
No, the chase led to the firefight.
Okay, so
they went to the safe
chase.
house.
That's right.
He ran away. They tried to chase him. They get in the car.
They got in the
Tom
Ford
guy
Mustang.
gets the dude. What's his name? And the virologist. He makes a call for the extraction site.
Extraction.
They pick him up. They get in the Stang. They chase it down, and then there's a big shootout, and then they kill him.
Well, I know you're dying. I don't want to make a big deal, but let's just say Tom runs down the fire escape, and Lizzie follows him, and Tom pulls up in a sweet blue Mustang.
That's
A
Tom's.
2015 Mustang.
2015 Mustang.
According to the commercial that
Brand
aired right before this segment.
Effing new.
God.
And it was turning those corners with the logo prominent and looked beautiful.
To God, I have.
Leave it.
Leave it. Come on.
Okay, go.
Okay.
Have you ever seen?
Real fast.
When was the last time
10
you saw
seconds.
product placement this juvenile? This is 1950s level product placement. Brought to you by Lux Flakes. Yes, Lux Flakes, ladies, for that soft hand. Come on.
I don't care. It was a sweet Mustang. Tom was driving that thing like Vin Diesel on the run.
The commercials about his character from the show. Oh, anyway.
Anyway,
10 seconds are up.
That's good.
Okay.
So Tom's in the fresh whip. He's whipping around. Doesn't get a scratch on it. He pops out. Like firefight ensues.
Bang, bang, bang.
I was surprised to see they did break a couple of windows.
They did.
Yeah,
they did. So we know about Ford Mustangs that when you shoot the windows, they will break.
It's their Achilles heel.
That's their only weakness.
So that happened. So she, she's upset about that. Meanwhile, Red is having this wonderful TED talk. As I said, he's got this plan. We don't know why, but he has Chris Christopherson and his other guys round up all these people who we don't know who they are
From all over the country.
But it turns out that they're this group of journalists, which I think was a very cool move.
It was.
I'm at Reddington. Here are all the journalists. This is the fulcrum. Check this out.
I do love the setup of the whole movie theater.
Yes.
I love it too.
Yeah.
And I love the idea of if you open your syllabus to page to the introduction, you'll see.
Wait a second. We were all
Criminals.
kidnapped. I have a couple questions about the kidnapping.
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved all that. But
that worked for me.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. There was this full TED talk with full everything else, and that happened. So they went out to go take down the cabal, what I also like about that whole situation in general is the fact that Red made good on his promise. Like the whole reason why Red was protected was because he had the fulcrum, and then now that the fulcrum has been exposed and they try to kill Red twice, Red's like, I'm gonna use it to take you guys all down, and he did do that. He's like, okay, no more fulcrum. So which begs the question, what's going to happen to Red now that he's burned down his only leverage from all these powerful people in the world? He's going to burn them all down, presumably. Where's Red's leverage in the world? Where does he exist? Does he exist as a good guy of the FBI? Does he exist as a criminal? Somewhere in between? That's interesting setup for season 3 for me. Because he's burned down his house down. And we don't know to what extent, because we see David Strathairn, the director, sort of looking we're in trouble. But he doesn't look worried. He doesn't look like, oh, I got to pack my bags and get out of here. He's just kind of like, oh yeah, I got to deal with this.
I think he looks kind of worried.
What do you think? Okay, how did you read all that? What's going to happen to the cabal?
It was such a quick clip of him just opening the paper to say that some of the secrets will be revealed. Some of his secrets will be revealed. I don't know. I mean, they're going to be distracted because Red did say to the journalist, if you do this, if you investigate this, you're going to be top priority that they're going to want to take you down, so you can't publish any more of this. Right. So maybe their focus will be a little bit diverted while he goes deep undercover with Lizzie.
Okay, maybe. I mean, I
don't know. He did say not all of you will survive this.
He did say that, and I'll buy all of that. I think that's all fair. So that helped. I think that was cool. Then we have what amounts to what we're calling the sort of the final confrontation with number 11 Tom Connolly, Cooper, and Lizzie.
We did skip something here.
Oh, what did we skip?
We skipped Cooper and his confrontation with the doc.
Talk about that.
Yes.
That was dumb. How can I forget that?
First off,
Cooper's shining moment.
I made a prediction a couple weeks ago when the adults were missing and it was just Jules and I that Cooper was not going to be sick.
I have to tell you something. He predicted it first.
Did he predict it first?
He did. When you were not here.
Well, let me say this.
Which is always.
let me say this. I didn't even predict it on my own. I was moving that week, and my brain was completely frazzled.
Okay.
Suzanne
it's
Patterson.
I'm just letting you know.
I got to do a shout out to Suzanne Patterson, who tweeted that at me probably 3 days before we recorded the show, and she was like, "This is my prediction." And for some reason, it dropped into my brain in the middle of our show as my idea. I was like, "Oh, here's my idea." That was in no way original or mine. So
Suzanne, I feel your pain.
So Suzanne, that's a mea culpa.
Story of my life.
So you had that predicted way in advance, and I stole it by accident. So that's I did not come up with that. That was you.
Flippo.
Absolutely. If I steal things, I got to admit to it.
So
I love that confrontation with the doctor.
Yeah.
That was Cooper in a badass way.
Yeah. Look, this is the season.
That was good.
The season
I
of Harold Cooper, if you ask me.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, there's only been 2 seasons,
Well, but I'm just saying,
Well, I was gonna say, how long are we
they last forever.
We've been talking a lot about when is Cooper gonna and they've really given him stuff to do, and they've given a lot of really cool stuff to do, and I just think the season
it
of
was
Cooper,
awesome.
and that's
Badass
what we wanted,
Cooper.
and he got all the sorry world.
Are you professing your love for Cooper right now?
That's just, I'm looking up my Etta James ode to Cooper.
Ode to Cooper.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know either. But I enjoyed that scene. I thought that was really well
that
done.
was pretty badass.
Yes.
And it was a good way to get all the information out. It wasn't just Tom Connolly telling everybody all the bad things he's done, which is one way, but it was nice. They got all the exposition from the doctor through Cooper's hand, choking him out. I thought that was great. It was much more watchable and enjoyable.
It's great.
I totally 150,000% agree.
Now we're just making up numbers.
No, 50,000.
150,000.
I think 150,000 is a real number.
So after that,
150,000?
Cooper is very much like empowered, and this is like so now. One prediction didn't come true. Charlene made it.
So far,
As far as we know.
Charlene
made it, and they even did a very specific shot with her picture on the desk.
Yeah,
just to remind us,
she made it. So I'm glad that she made it. I'm glad that Cooper's not sick.
God, we were so sure.
And I thought the way this episode was shaping up, I'm like, this is Cooper's swan song. Like, he's not going to make it through the episode because he's no longer the director, and he's I thought he was going to make it out, but now he has all this hope. Like, Cooper's stronger than ever. It's like, what about the cane? Like, and the cane, so Cooper's come back stronger than ever.
Yeah, well, he's not dying, but he's going to be in prison.
Well, we'll see about that, right? Mm-hmm. Because season 3, I have some predictions on that. All right, so final confrontation. We get to the moment where Cooper and Liz confront Connolly. They've got the evidence. Mm-hmm. They've got enough to put him behind bars.
We also skipped the boat rocking scene.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm sorry. Lizzie goes to Tom. This is important. Yes, Lizzie and Tom
they reconcile, shall we say?
They reconcile. Yes,
naked.
They wreck some shopping style. That's
yes.
Yes.
Really? Is that how you reconcile?
That's how I reconcile, right?
Oh my, that's the least sexy thing I've ever seen.
God.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
No. I don't think I'm not an expert at sex, but I don't think that's how it goes.
No, I've had it before with a woman. This is how you do it, right?
I'm pretty sure it's not how it goes. I don't know.
You mean to tell me this isn't hot?
Maybe if you were wearing the yellow blouse, maybe then.
That would be.
Maybe that would turn me on.
If you're watching if you're listening on iTunes, Joe's doing.
Again, I
Joe's
implore
doing
you,
his
watch
sex
that.
Moves. Anyway, so
my moves are hot, yo.
So they do it in the boat.
Yes, they do.
Finally. And you know what?
22 episodes. Give me a sex scene, will you?
That was a sweet sex. It was a nice sex scene. It was good to see Lizzie be kind of sexy.
Yeah,
I bought it. I thought it was kind of hot for network television. Okay, you're all crickets. Anyway, so that happened.
Well, okay. Anyways.
So they reconcile.
I'll leave this to myself.
Also, building this team coalition thing. And I know Lexus, but we're gonna get there. I'm gonna get us out. What was I gonna say?
Confrontation.
The final
confrontation.
Yes.
So they all get there for the final confrontation, and of course, Connolly's spilling it. Like, well, first of all, they have a pretty strong case. Cooper's like, rucka, and Lizzie's like, rucka. And
question.
Yes.
Why don't they tape record these things?
This is. I said this earlier. What the hell? Cooper has. I'm sorry.
They make
Connolly's
such a big
confessed
deal,
like 9 times.
Yeah.
But they also make such a big deal is that the doctor recorded all his conversations with you, Connolly. Sure. Okay, so let's record this one because this one's really, really important, guys. If you really want to be exonerated, let's record this one.
If only there was a device that had, the ability to record a conversation.
My God.
If only there was something that you would have in your pocket conveniently for
I have a plan.
phone
Let's
calls.
confront it, just the 3 of us. Let's not tell anyone about it.
Oh my God.
I do love Connolly's swag. I do like Connolly's swag of to that point. He's like, that may all be true, but how are you going to prove it? Who's going to believe you? Who's going to, if you're only recording this thing.
If only.
No one's going to believe you.
Only.
I'm Connolly. I'm evil. Yep. But your whole team's going to jail, and I'm the bad guy.
Listen, we've only had the ability to record conversations for about 65, 70 years. So I cannot imagine.
Okay. Well, let's move on. So Lizzie has had enough. She's heard enough. And she draws her gun on Connolly. And Cooper's like, don't do it. Don't go down this road. You can't come back. And Lizzie in this wonderful moment, shoots down, kills Conley.
Pop!
A little shaky.
Yeah.
Should I do it?
All right.
Should I
She
do
kills
it?
Conley dead.
Yeah.
Cooper's like, run! Which is great. So she goes, run Lizzie run. She goes. She then, when she's pulling that trigger, it brings something back to her, remembers everything. And so she goes back and confesses to Red, like, I know what happened. Like, you did this. You know, this is the blouse moment that's not happening. You did this. You know, you...
I think this counts as wearing the yellow blouse of truth.
I killed my dad to save my mom. He was hurting her. You were always trying to protect me. And Red, in a wonderful piece, really a wonderful piece of acting, had a wonderful face. And they shared this moment on the bench, which to me, again, slightly ruined by the placement, the placement of Rocket Man. I'm not sure that was the song.
It ruined it for me.
I mean, I get that it fit. Like we're all, it's going to be all right this time, and we're all going to go away on that jet plane. I get it, but it's like. You know,
their music choices are usually spot on too. This was
that
a
one's
poor
kind of
choice.
a broad. It's like really too on the nose. Like I don't need like Elton John. It's going to be all right this time in that moment. But whatever. That's my own personal like.
I was with you.
Thing. So this makes Lizzie on the run with Red together, presumably, which asks all these questions. About like so. How powerful is Red now? The Cabal's taken out. Like what is Red's function in general? Is he just on the run? Like what is his leverage? What is his function? Lizzie's now on the run with Red, which is kind of cool. We know that they have a little team. Red, we already have Red's team of Chris Christopherson and Mr. Kaplan and Pee Wee Herman and all those guys, and then and the Oxygen Take homie. Yeah. But on the team now we have Cooper. I think Cooper is doesn't have a job, and he's going to be kicking it with Red and Lizzie, maybe helping them. And then we have my man Tom in the boat in the Mustang. Like, what's he doing? He's in love with Lizzie.
Here's the question.
So I like the idea of season 3 setting up to be like Lizzie, Red, Tom, Cooper, and the gang doing whatever they're going to do while Wrestler and the task force has to hunt them down. Now, that's a show.
Yeah.
Maybe, right?
It'll be a show.
Okay.
Here's a question. I just don't know where on the boat Tom has room to take the Mustang. Well, I mean, I know it was a big boat, but I didn't think it was that big.
It's a little beat up. He'll just get another one wherever he's going.
Pick up a new Mustang?
Yeah, absolutely.
But before we only have like a couple minutes.
2016.
We're
over. Sorry.
But I will ask this a quick question. Like, why did Lizzie pull the gun and shoot? Like, I'm back into Lizzie motivations. I mean, it's too late for this to not turn into a bash Lizzie session, but it's a serious question for you, Julia. Like, was she, no, I'm serious. Like, was she like, I've had enough and that's it? And she draws the gun, but does she, like Lizzie, who's been level-headed, Lizzie, who doesn't want to begin the episode, was like, I don't want to do that. Like, I'm right. I'm not going to do anything bad. Lizzie, who has this moral compass, whatever, decides she's had enough and just kills the Attorney General of the United States in cold blood?
I think something in her broke. Which sort of ties back to me thinking that she's the #1 blacklister. There's something in her that is deep and dark.
It's Mosha
Rostova.
Mosha Rostova. She's like a sleeper agent.
Yes.
She's like Evelyn Salt.
The's something.
Maybe she's
Evelyn
Salt.
Yeah, from Salt, Angelina Jolie. Yes, I love that. Her name was Evelyn Salt. I'm Evelyn Salt. Then you are a Russian spy. Karate, explosion. I love that movie. Anyway, go ahead. So that's what's going to happen to Lizzie.
Well, she was on the brink of something. Something in her broke. I truly do believe that. What's happening?
No, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Anyways, that's what I think.
I don't know. I hope
she looked crazy. She had crazy eyes.
Okay.
I have a difficult time,
You saw it in her eyes, did you? You saw it in her eyes?
Oh, yeah.
You saw something, did you?
In her eyes.
There was something there?
Finally.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Sorry.
Joe, do you have any final thoughts on why she did what she did?
I don't know, man. The whole thing feels completely unmotivated because it's been. I think they've changed direction and changed the character so many times that it feels mushy. I would be interested to hear years from now what she has to say about the process, or if somebody comes out with like, hey, here's what happened in the writers' room, because it really does feel like they've changed the character a number of times in mid-stride, and I feel like there's been a number of times where there's just been bait and switch, like we've just I feel like we've been messed with as an audience, and I think that and from what people are tweeting at me, I think that enough people are going to get mad because I feel like as an audience they're being effed with.
Well, this is what I want to ask. I mean, we got to get out of here because I know we got to go.
Yeah.
Let's just jump to predictions and let's get out of here and then we'll get out of here with the next 3 minutes. Julia's
Okay.
got to go. So does Joe.
So does Joe.
So do I.
AfterBuzz TV.
So does Alexis.
We could talk about this all day, though.
We could talk about this all day long. What are you going to put predictions? But I do want to just shout out everyone who's been along with us on this journey. All the fans on YouTube and iTunes. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you guys. It's been a lot of fun. I know we've been like up and down and critical, but like I think a lot of you appreciate it. Some are mad at us for being so critical. Some are happy we're critical. Some are just like the show. I do want to shout some people out. VFC Church musician Jasmine Delight, Nikki S, Mahogany 1985, Adam Burke. Soprano Ascends Christine, Realty Reviews, I'm sorry, of course Miss Lean, and Ron Vidal, and my man Langley Neely resurfaced. It's good to see you, and all you guys who've commented over the years, and Vanilla Cupcake, and all these people who are around. Thank you so much. We appreciate you very much. Predictions, Joe, and look, I know we'll get on. I'm sure we'll get tweets and comments on YouTube and iTunes saying we're probably too harsh on Lizzie and you guys suck. And I want people who love the show, not people who just bash it all the time and think they're so smart. I mean, that's fair, but we just call it like we see it. Flippo, predictions for next season, go.
Yeah, I think that if we set it up with Lizzie on the run with Red, I think Harold is in prison. I think that Wrestler is trying to do it all through normal channels. I feel like we open with the Cabal on defense, but by no means busted up.
Yep.
And I think that's where we go from there. I think that everything starts from undisclosed locations with Red.
That was the first time you didn't call me out first.
I know, in 3 years.
3 years.
It's all right.
It's all right. It's cool.
Do you want me to go back?
Go.
Take it all back. I think Lizzie's pregnant.
Oh.
From the one bang.
Wow.
That's all it takes is once.
It's like Flippo, one shot, one kill.
Sex sniper! One shot, one kill.
One shot, one kill.
I think she's
bang.
pregnant.
That's beautiful.
From the boat bang.
The boat banging.
Well, it's science. The boat rocks. And
that's how it works.
And the thing. Like
Hashtag boat bang 2015.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I think she's pregnant.
That's a hot prediction.
Thank you very much. And I think Dembe's going to be sad. That goodbye.
Oh,
that goodbye was so sad.
Yeah.
So she's pregnant, Dembe's sad.
Well,
that's all I got.
We know Dembe's a series regular now, so he'll be back next season. I think I blew my prediction. I just said I like the idea of this one coalition of the Outlaws on one side with Tom. I like the idea of Tom and Lizzie and Red working together with Dembe and Cooper. And Mrs. Kaplan and the gang, Wrestler and those guys hunting them down. I'm very curious about the motivation and how and where Red and Lizzie exist, because they always need something to do. Like, what are they going to get to the bottom of? What are they trying to find? What truths are they trying to get to? What are they doing? We do have to continue with this idea of the blacklisters, going after blacklisters, I assume, because that's the show. So what mechanism do we have to go after blacklisters? Like, that'll be really interesting to see how they set up season 3. So I'm very interested to see that. Again, that's it. That's all the time we have. Thanks again for joining us. I hope you guys enjoyed this last episode of The Blacklist. AfterBuzz After Show will be back next year. And I don't know, Alexis, thank you so much for all your hard work. And that's all I got. And Lola, thank you for all your hard work. And Joe, thank you. Thank you. And Nando's not here, but he loves you all too. Where can we find you, Joe?
You can find me on the Twitters at Joe Flippo, JoeFlippo.
Good. Julia.
Me, Twitter and Instagram with my name, Julia Cearley, JuliaCearley.
Find me on Twitter and Instagram and Periscope. I'm gonna start Periscoping, y'all. I like Periscope now. Periscope at Joe K. Braswell, at Joe K. Braswell on all 3. Thank you very much. We'll see you next year.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.